Okay, so today's gonna be a lot easier than most days because today I actually thought about what I was gonna do before waking up this morning. I actually planned this one. Because the last two were mostly just makeup videos. Today's gonna be an actual like helpful video with maybe some new stuff in it. So it's gonna be a 5 tip video. There we go. 5 tips. There we go. 5 little fingertips. 5 tip video on DMing on tabletop. Some of these will probably apply to DMing in as a whole, but a lot of them will apply on tabletop. So let's go ahead and just jump into them. All right, so remember how I said that some of these will apply to only tabletop? This one's going to only apply to tabletop, and it's going to be pretty self-explanatory and pretty straightforward. Keep an original save of your table. Always keep an original save of your table. And what I mean by that is that have a save no matter how many times you load it, no matter whatever you do to your table, no matter how many different encounters you run or different maps you add or all the figures, maybe you do a huge war and it clutters your whole entire table. Have a way to reset, have a way to go back to where you started to be able to just kind of have a clean start every time you do a new encounter or every time you're planning for like a really big session or any session in general, really. I don't know what it's loading. Just ignore the red tags. That's what I do. Tabletop has a lot of red tags and not very many ways to help you figure out what it means. So just ignore it until it can't be ignored anymore. It's life lessons. 5 life lessons. All right. No. But yeah. So the easiest way to do this is we're make sure you get a table to how you want it. Where everything is, so you know where everything will always. That's really big. Make sure you keep things where they will always be. I keep my decks right here. I keep my maps right here. A lot of my figures stay over here that I know they're going to be important. You don't have to keep all of your figures out at all times, but like after a few sessions, you're going to realize, okay, these NPCs are a little bit more important than these. Maybe you have an idea of something in the future. You're already working on it. This is what this stuff was. This stuff was stuff from a gang of like kind of like adventurers, kind of like the party that they're going to run into, you know? I want to go ahead and have the models selected. If you can tell, some of these are from League of Legends. These are actually really good models. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the little doobly-doo comment section or whatever, description below. But yeah, it's really simple. And then once you have it, the way you want it, you go to save and load, save game, name it whatever you want. We're going to name it GGGGGGGGGG because that's such a good name. And there, now it's going to always be there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it, but it will always be there for when you need it. And that's so important. I can't tell you how many times I had to sit here and waste an hour cleaning up because I had to get my board back to the original save because I didn't make one. Just save yourself some trouble. Keep you an original save. All right, this next one is going to tie in kind of to the original save thing, but keep all of your tools on hand. So you're going to grow as a DM as you go. And like I said, some of these will definitely apply to tabletop, but also as a DM in general. You want to keep some certain tools on hand. What do you lack? What are you bad at? I'm bad at making up names on the spot. So what I do is I just keep a list of names somewhere on me. Now, I don't even keep it in tabletop. I don't know why. I keep it in a Word document. And whenever a player runs into an NPC randomly, like, hey, what's that old lady doing over there? I'm like, that's Mrs. Susan, and she is an apple dealer. That's what she does. She deals apples. It's a weird way to call. Hey, you want some apples? Such a kind of want to do that now. But this goes for multiple things. So another thing I'm bad at having a good idea. I don't like sitting down and trying to slowly piece together what a player is going to get from every individual like fight or encounter or dungeon they go through. It's a bit tedious for me, and it's more fun for me, honestly, if I add a bit of random to it, because then I don't even know what they're going to get, and it's cool. So what I do, since I don't want to do that part, or since this is how I prefer doing it, I keep these little decks around. And you can do this many ways. You don't have to do this. There's tons of websites online. I'll post at least the one that I use in the description below. That basically you just click a button and it randomizes it for you, and boom, you're good. And it makes it a lot more simpler. This thing, oh my god, combat tracker. You want a combat tracker. I don't know if whether you're DMing actually in front of people, or you're DMing using fantasy grounds or Roll20 or whatever you're using, combat trackers are so important. But not just like one for you. Like this one's for the players. I usually have them put their own little thing on here, and then as the fight progresses, I'll add the monsters on there. So like showing that the players are learning how fast the monsters are, when they're attacking, when they're not attacking, so they can, as if they're gaining more information. I started doing that a while back, but that's not the point right now. The point is that you also want one for yourself. So I can quickly look down. I usually have one like right around in this area somewhere where my cursor is, but I recently got rid of it because now I use one off of Tabletop. But same thing applies. Keep it there for yourself so that you constantly know where everything is going to run. Now, if you put everything in front of the players at the beginning, then this isn't really going to apply to you. But as a whole, keep all of your tools where you need them, your dice where you need them. If you're running through, if they're slowly crawling through a dungeon, make sure you have. See, I don't know where the fuck it is. There it is. I thought I saw it. Keep your little, like, say you're using Fog of War. Keep this on hand. You want to be able to remove the Fog of War as soon as they say they want to. You don't really want the delay there, because from what I can tell, most DMs fear that delay. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but we all fear it. We fear that moment of they ask a question and then we can't answer it fast enough. And this helps with that. This mitigates it a little bit. Calculator, just whatever tool you feel helps you with the problems that you're not really good at as a DM just yet. You'll get better at all of them eventually, but these tools can help you maybe get through it, and you want to just make sure you have them with you at all times. That's all. All right, so tip 3. When doing like a really big encounter, this one again is only going to apply to Tabletop mostly. When doing a really large encounter, what you want to do is you want to kind of already prep ahead of time. This is for multiple reasons. Tabletop makes it kind of a hassle to set up the board. Like it'd be like, oh, roll initiative, and by the time my players roll initiative, I barely have gotten the board set up, and I don't have the minis on there yet. And this is just so I tell them, hey, roll initiative. And while they're rolling initiative, I just come over here, click load. They're not even in Tabletop right now. They're rolling initiative through D&D Beyond. So but then they come back and boom, I got everything ready. I got the Fog of War placed where it needs to be. If it needs to be, sometimes you can just do climactic events where you don't really have a Fog of War. You just have like a huge battle arena that everyone can see. This one in particular is just a Fog of War. I already have the minis placed so they can already see. I already have their minis placed so they know where they are. And I'll make the final adjustments. Like say if something happens that I just didn't predict, like maybe one of them was like, I want to go hide over here behind the barrel. I'll move them over to that spot again while the players are still rolling initiative. And it takes a matter of a few seconds. Granted, it could go up to about maybe 30 to 45 seconds, depending on your computer speed. But it's still not that very long, and you can prattle on a bit more, and people can feel a bit more understandable when it's just loading and then just sitting there waiting, watching you move one mini at a time. It's save your saves. I have a couple examples. I'm gonna have to go back pretty far, so you're gonna see some pretty far stuff. You can get creative with it. Jesus, everything's breaking. Wrong choice. We won't do that one. Jesus, I went back way too far. Oh, that's because I went to my original. Whoopsie daisy. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that again. So this one I'm fine with being broken, because it doesn't really matter. I know what's broken on it. The models are what's broken on it. It's got to get rid of all of them. 200 what? Hold on. Fuck all that. This is it. Get rid of those. Don't mind those. This is a really old model. That's why Tabletop's freaking out right now, because I haven't opened this in a very long time. As you can see, this is like one of my really old tables. I think when I did my very first video, I was using this table, and I didn't even have as much as I do now. But you see, I have everything already placed. I have the models placed. Everything's in position. So the second the players load in, they see it like, oh wow, okay, we are in a battle. This is a lot. Holy shit. What are we gonna do with all these? So again, just prep ahead of time, save yourself some hassle, and save your players a bit of discomfort having to sit there and watching you slowly put things on the board. All right, so this one's going to be pretty out there. Every DM video has one of these eventually, but I feel like I have to say it because if I don't, then I'm going against the norm, and the norm's right. So just try new shit. Always try new stuff. Always be willing to go out of your way to just do random things. The reason I have this board is because I kept adding. I kept trying new things. I kept just wondering, what if I did this in D&D, or what if I did that? And you really just need to make sure that you're always trying new stuff. Not just so it stays fresh. It's like you can keep it fresh in other ways, but so you as a person can grow as a DM. And it also helps alleviate some of that fear. If you keep jumping off cliffs and surviving, eventually you don't fear jumping off the cliff anymore. You get what I'm saying? It's a really, really dark metaphor, but you get the point. Is like, as long as you keep pushing yourself to try new things, to keep like using tabletop for D&D, for example, that's something I never thought I would consider, and I just randomly tried it one day, and here I am. And here you can be. It's not like this isn't like it took me years to master. It was like a couple days of me just watching some really bad videos that I won't name, and then a lot of Reddit, and here I am. Hi. But yeah, try new things. Try new initiative counters. Try new tables. Try new players. Sometimes you just need a new room. You need a new player group, man. Try new models. Try new maps. Go try different people drawings. Anything you can think of. Say you watch a TV show like Arcane, for instance. Try it. Try adding some of those characters into D&D. You have no idea how many times I've taken characters from actual anime or TV shows or anything of the sort. Books. God, I've stolen so many book characters. And I've put them in and just wondering, I wonder if this will work. And if it does or doesn't, you'll find out pretty quickly, but you'll still learn from it whether it does or doesn't. And that's what's important. Just getting, taking the learning experience and doing more with it. I hope that makes sense. But just try new things, guys. Super important. And so this last one, it's going to be mostly just me talking. I don't really have anything else to show you with the board. I don't really have anything else to show you in general, actually. Most of my videos, I've gone over everything that needs to go over. And hell, the last two, I had to just go over old stuff just because I got patched a little bit. But mostly, the old videos were fine. And I noticed that the more I kept looking at my old videos, a lot of it's fine. It's kind of on you guys at this point to just kind of not get overwhelmed, not be too anxious about it. The thing with tabletop is that not only are you trying D&D for the first time for some of you, you're also trying tabletop, and it can be really easy to get really overwhelmed and feel like there's just so much on your plate. It's not actually there, man. You just gotta sit down and just take care of what's exactly in front of you, one step at a time. I need a map. Get the map. My player asked about a god. I don't have a god in my world. Make it. As soon as the problem arises, do it. And as that goes, your brain will start just on its own planning ahead. And then you'll start actually jumping before the gun shoots. And with that, it'll just become normal. It'll become natural. You won't even realize that you're sitting there at 2 o'clock in the morning and doing a D&D prep and already know what your players are going to do because you just know them so well, because you run so many games, and because it's just some things that just stick. You're just like, I know what they're going to do here. They're going to pull the button. They're going to pull the button. They're going to push the button. They're going to pull the lever. They're going to do this thing. Now I can prep around that. And all that comes from just not getting overwhelmed and taking things one step at a time, like a tip video, one tip at a time. I hate me. One step at a time. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. This video is probably going to be even shorter than some of the other videos. I think I'm good for tabletop. I think this is it. I think I'm done helping you guys. If there's anything in particular, if enough people kind of are asking me about it, I might do it. But otherwise, I can't think of anything besides I would just be going over old content And I really want to start trying to maybe do more things. Speaking of, tomorrow I'm going to be live streaming sometime in the AM East Coast side. So that would be, let's say, somewhere around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll probably stream for a good 5 hours or so. Who knows what I'll be doing, playing video games, talking to whoever shows up. Might have a few friends get on to keep me, so I'm preoccupied with myself while I sit around in a 0 viewer stream, but you get the point. That'll be going on tomorrow, and then for Saturday and Sunday, I think Saturday I'm going to do a prep video. I'm going to show you how to prep, and that's going to be a lot less about tabletop and a lot more of just prepping D&D in general. People were really curious about how I did a video prep. I'm going to try to narrow that down into a small video, but if I end up not being able to pull that off, I'm sorry. That one might be pretty long. Like 30 minutes to an hour maybe long. And then Sunday, I'm going to do another live stream. I'm going to live stream my game. There's a big kind of ball climactic event going on, and I figured what better way to show you how to DM on tabletop than to actually DM on tabletop. So that's how that week will end. And then starting from next week, this has been really fun, but I think I need to pull back just a little bit. I'm realizing how much time I'm putting towards this and how much time I have doing everything else. I still have a few things in real life I need to tend to. So after this week, after the things I just said, I'm going to pull back a little bit and do maybe 3 videos a week. I'm still going to live stream maybe once or twice as well, so it won't feel like you're missing out on too much. But this will give me more time to think of where I think I want to go and what I really want to do with this YouTube channel. Word to the wise, random things might start happening, boys. I don't know if I'm going to maybe try a video game channel. I kind of want to do reviews, maybe some analysis on some things that have been intriguing me in the video game world. I also wouldn't mind talking about some things that I just like. Like I'm a really big anime watcher. Maybe you guys are too. Maybe we can discuss some of your favorite animes. I watch a lot. I just currently rewatched Jujutsu Kaisen again because I love the animation. It's such okay, let me stop. But you get the point. But thanks. Please subscribe if you don't mind. If you're interested in more tabletop videos, I have a whole playlist now in the doobly link thing. I don't know where my head is or where. I don't know. I'm looking at the camera, but I really don't know the camera. I really need a second monitor. That would probably help a little bit. My bad. But I'll show it in the description, or it'll pop up in one of these corners of the screen. I usually put myself in the bottom corner, so maybe right above me is where it'll be, I think. Like right up there. Look right up there. Somewhere in that moment where I'm doing this right now is when I'm gonna put it there. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for tomorrow when we do a live stream. Hope I see you guys there. Bye.